Emma woke up to the soft buzz of her alarm at 6 a.m. She lay still for a moment, listening to the sound and feeling her heart beat faster. Today was her first day at a new school. She took a deep breath, thinking about all the new faces she would meet. She swung her legs over the side of the bed and stretched slowly, trying to push away her nervous thoughts. In the bathroom, Emma looked at herself in the mirror. Her dark hair was pinned back neatly, and she smoothed down the crisp white shirt of her uniform. She practiced a small, calm smile. "You can do this," she whispered to her reflection. She took another slow breath, feeling a wave of quiet confidence. Downstairs, the kitchen smelled of fresh toast and eggs. Emma's mother placed a warm plate of food in front of her and poured a cup of milk. Her father stood by the door, straightening his tie before leaving for work. "Good luck today," he said with a kind smile. "Just be yourself." Emma nodded and took a bite of toast. The familiar taste helped her feel a little less afraid. Just then, her younger brother, Leo, dashed into the room in his pajamas. He bounced up to the table and asked, "Are you excited to meet new friends?" He turned toward Emma and grinned. Emma laughed softly and answered, "A little nervous, but also excited." Leo reached over and touched her arm. "You will make friends. You are funny and kind." His words made Emma's chest feel warm. By 7:30 a.m., Emma slung her backpack over her shoulder and stepped outside. The air was cool and smelled like early spring flowers. She walked slowly down the path, passing low hedges and bright daisies. Each step made her heart feel a little lighter. She reminded herself of 3 simple English greetings she had written in her notebook the night before. "Hello," "Good morning," and "Nice to meet you." She whispered them under her breath. When she reached the school gate, Emma paused. The building stood tall with brick walls and many windows. A bright banner above the entrance read, "Welcome to Oakwood Middle School." Children laughed and talked in small groups on the lawn. Emma's heart pounded, but she felt a spark of hope. She opened her notebook and reviewed the greetings one more time. A kind voice called her name. Emma turned to see a woman wearing a light blue sweater. "Emma?" the woman asked. "I am Ms. Johnson, the school counselor. Welcome to Oakwood. Let me show you around." Emma smiled and followed Ms. Johnson through the gate, feeling her worries begin to fade. They walked across a courtyard with stone benches and cherry trees in bloom. Students sat on the benches, reading or chatting. Emma felt the warm sun on her face as Ms. Johnson pointed out important places. "This way to the lockers," she said. Emma found locker B12 and practiced the combination lock until it clicked open. She placed her notebook and pencil case inside, then closed the door firmly. Next, Ms. Johnson led her to the main building. "Your homeroom is in room 204, she explained. Emma imagined herself sitting at a desk with new classmates around her. She felt a tiny flutter of excitement. Before they reached the room, Ms. Johnson knelt beside her. "It is normal to feel shy," she said softly. "Take one step at a time. Breathe slowly and smile." Emma closed her eyes, took a deep breath in, and let it out gently. When the bell rang, Emma and Ms. Johnson entered the bright classroom together. Rows of desks faced a large whiteboard, and colorful posters covered the walls. Emma chose a seat near the front and placed her notebook on the desk. She felt her palms grow steady as she sat down. As students filled the room, Emma looked around and noticed the friendly faces. Some students waved and she waved back. She remembered her breathing exercise and smiled. When Miss Johnson introduced her to the class, Emma said, "Hello, everyone. My name is Emma." Her voice was soft but clear. A round of polite applause followed, and Emma's chest warmed with relief. By the end of that first hour, Emma had learned 5 new words and said good morning to 3 classmates. She felt proud of herself. When the teacher began the lesson, Emma settled in and listened carefully, ready to learn. As she focused on the teacher's words, she remembered that new beginnings could be scary, but also full of promise. And she knew that with each breath and each small step, she was growing more confident in her new school home. Ms. Carter stood at the front of the classroom with a gentle smile. She was Emma's homeroom teacher. Her voice was calm and friendly as she welcomed the students. When it was Emma's turn, Ms. Carter said, "This is Emma. She is new here." Emma stood up, looked at the class, and said, "Hello, my name is Emma." She spoke slowly. A few classmates waved. Emma felt a spark of happiness. To help everyone learn about each other, Miss Carter asked the class to play a simple game called Two Truths and a Dream. Each student would say 3 things: 2 true facts about themselves and 1 dream for the future. The rest of the class would guess which statement was the dream. Mia went first. She said, "I have a pet turtle. I like to draw flowers. I want to visit the ocean." The classmates guessed carefully. Next was Jacob. He said, "I love pizza. I can ride a skateboard. I want to learn to play the piano." When it was Emma's turn, she stood up with a small breath. She said, "I enjoy painting nature. I can speak English and Spanish. I dream of traveling to New York City." Some students guessed her dream was painting or language skill. Emma smiled and nodded. Then she said, "My dream is New York City." The class clapped lightly, and Emma felt proud. After the game, Ms. Carter asked the students to form small groups. Emma joined a group with Mia, Lucas, and Priya. They sat in a circle and asked each other simple questions in English. Mia asked, "What is your favorite hobby?" Emma answered, "I like painting trees and mountains." Lucas asked, "Do you play sports?" Emma shook her head and said, "No, but I like to walk in parks." Priya shared that she loved reading books. The students nodded and smiled. Mia reached into her backpack and pulled out a small container of homemade laddu, a sweet treat from her home country. She offered a piece to Emma. Emma tasted it and said, "It is very sweet and soft." Mia taught Emma the word laddu, and Emma wrote it in her notebook. They laughed together, and Emma felt more at ease. Suddenly, the lights dimmed, and a simple quiz appeared on the whiteboard. The quiz showed pictures of a window, a book, a teacher, and a friend, and asked the students to write the correct English word under each picture. Emma's heart started to beat quickly. Her pen shook as she tried to spell the words. Window, she wrote for the first picture. For the picture of the book, she paused and then wrote book. She looked at the teacher's picture and spelled teacher. Finally, she wrote friend under the smiling face. Emma felt nervous, but kept working. As she wrote, Lucas leaned over and whispered, "You are doing great." Priya smiled and gave her a thumbs up. Their quiet encouragement helped Emma calm down. She finished the quiz and handed her paper to Miss Carter. The teacher nodded and said, "Well done, Emma." A warm feeling spread through Emma's chest. Ms. Carter then asked everyone to close their eyes for a short mindfulness exercise. She asked them to place a hand on their chest and breathe in slowly through the nose, then breathe out through the mouth. Emma felt the cool air enter her lungs and the warm air leave. She imagined the worry flowing out of her body with each breath. When the exercise ended, Emma opened her eyes and felt more peaceful. The rest of the morning passed with more simple lessons. The class played a matching game. Students matched words to pictures on the board. Emma found the picture of a pencil and matched it to the word pencil. When it was time to read a short story about friendship, Ms. Carter invited Emma to read the first paragraph. Emma stood, read slowly, and everyone listened kindly. When she finished, her classmates clapped softly. As the bell rang, Emma gathered her belongings. She felt tired, but happy. She had met new friends, tried new food, completed a quiz, and even read in front of the class. Walking to her next class, Emma thought about how the day had begun with a friendly teacher and ended with new confidence. She felt ready for more unexpected moments tomorrow. When the lunch bell rang, Emma carried her tray into the bright cafeteria. The room was filled with the gentle hum of conversation and the clatter of trays on tables. She found an empty seat by a window and sat down. The sunlight felt warm on her back as she unwrapped her sandwich and poured a little milk from her carton. A classmate named Mia waved and patted the seat next to her. Emma smiled and moved over. Soon Lucas, Priya, Sophia, and Jay joined them. They passed around apple slices and shared stories about their mornings. Lucas described a funny mistake he made on a math quiz. Priya talked about her puppy learning to bark on command. Sophia showed a small sketch of a garden she drew during art class. Jay laughed when he told them about his new book, an exciting adventure full of dragons. Emma listened and felt her smile growing. Then she told them about the chalk drawings she had practiced on her driveway at home. Emma's voice was clear as she described how she used bright colors to draw birds and flowers. After they finished eating, the group moved outside to the playground. The air was fresh, and the soft wind carried the scent of grass. Some students played hopscotch, and others tossed a ball back and forth. Miss Carter had arranged a small English scavenger hunt for the class. Emma picked up a list that asked for 5 objects to find around the yard. The list used simple words: leaf, bench, bird, stone, and flower. Emma started by finding a green leaf near a tree and wrote leaf in her notebook. Then she spotted a long wooden bench and wrote bench. Next, she heard a bird chirping in a nearby branch and wrote bird. She felt proud and pointed it out to Jay, who gave her a thumbs up. Emma then bent down to pick up a smooth gray stone and wrote stone. Finally, she noticed a bright yellow flower growing in a small garden bed and wrote flower. When she read her words aloud to the group, they all clapped softly. After the scavenger hunt, Sophia suggested they draw their favorite object with chalk on the sidewalk and write its English name. Emma chose the bird and drew it with wings spread wide. She carefully spelled bird under her drawing. JP admired her work and said, "You are good at drawing." Emma felt a warm glow inside. Walking back toward the school, Emma noticed a brief wave of homesickness. She missed her old friends and the swings in her old playground. Suddenly, Mia slipped off her light jacket and offered it to Emma. "It can get chilly in the afternoon," Mia said kindly. Emma accepted the jacket and felt comforted by the thoughtful gesture. In their final class of the day, Ms. Carter asked the students to write 3 things they had learned. Emma opened her notebook and wrote new words: leaf, bench, bird, a new game, scavenger hunt, and a kind moment, Mia's jacket. She read her list quietly and felt proud of her progress. When the last bell rang, Emma packed her bag and stood by the door, taking a moment to breathe in the soft light of the afternoon. She whispered to herself, "I am brave. I am learning. I belong here." As she walked home down the quiet street, Emma felt her steps grow stronger. Her first day had been full of new friends, small adventures, and heartfelt moments. She knew that tomorrow would bring its own surprises and joys, and she looked forward to every one of them. Emma's first day at Oakwood Middle School began with a flutter of nerves and hope. She woke early, practiced a calm smile, and felt her family's warm support before stepping into the crisp morning air. Every detail, from the scent of toast in her kitchen to the sight of blossoming daisies on her walk, gave Emma a small anchor of comfort as she approached the school's brick gates. Guided by Ms. Johnson, the school counselor, Emma found her locker, learned to open it with a click, and stored her notebook inside with a growing sense of confidence. Entering her bright homeroom, Emma met Ms. Carter, whose gentle welcome made her heart beat less wildly. The icebreaker game, 2 Truths and a Dream, allowed Emma to share her love of painting and her dream of visiting New York City. When classmates guessed her dream correctly, Emma felt a warm glow of acceptance. In small groups, she practiced basic English questions and answers, tasted a sweet Ladu snack from Mia, and added the new word to her notebook. A simple pop quiz on the whiteboard tested Emma's spelling of common words: window, book, teacher, friend. Her hands trembled as she wrote, but quiet encouragement from Lucas and Priya steadied her pen. Ms. Carter's praise, "Well done, Emma," echoed like music in her ears. A short mindfulness exercise followed, helping Emma breathe away any lingering tension. By the end of the morning lessons, matching games, and a short reading, Emma had spoken, listened, and learned with bravery. At lunchtime, Emma joined her new friends in the bustling cafeteria. They laughed over sandwiches and shared stories of their mornings. Outside, the English scavenger hunt sent Emma searching for a leaf, bench, bird, stone, and flower. Each simple word she wrote down felt like a stepping stone toward belonging. When Sophia suggested drawing their favorite object with chalk, Emma drew a bird in flight, labeling it carefully. Jay's compliment, "You are good at drawing," felt like another gift of friendship. A brief homesick moment passed when Emma missed her old playground. Mia's kind offer of her light jacket warmed Emma more than the fabric itself. In the final class, Emma reflected on three things she learned. New words: leaf, bench, bird, a fun scavenger hunt game, and the kindness of a friend's jacket. As the last bell rang, Emma whispered to herself, I am brave. I am learning. I belong here. Her steps home felt lighter, filled with the promise of many more days of growth, friendship, and discovery. Emma's journey teaches us that courage and kindness open doors. By taking small steps, practicing a greeting, asking a simple question, or offering a jacket, we build connections and confidence. In your own life, try to greet one new person each day. Practice deep breathing when you feel nervous, and share something small to show you care. These actions create a positive cycle of support and learning. Congratulations on listening through Emma's story and improving your English listening skills. Now, let's test your understanding. What kind gesture did Mia offer Emma when she felt homesick? A. A sweet snack. B. A warm jacket. Type A or B in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming English learning videos. Your support helps us continue creating free, high-quality content. If you'd like, you can also donate to help cover our early production costs and encourage us to keep bringing you more lessons. Thank you for learning with us.